Give me the headlines presented by Hyundai. This is the earliest we've ever talked about my Detroit Lions. It takes them playing a team that is in the Super Bowl discussion.
No
that
doubt.
is the Rams, and they were in this game. And
What?
full credit to Dan Campbell.
Thank you.
And the coaching staff.
Thank you
For pulling out all the stops, onside kick, 2 fake punts. It all worked.
Yes.
Unfortunately for the Lions, the offense didn't work that much. Although they
that's
had
right.
a lot of yards. I think they had over 400 yards.
Well,
on a
it seemed
tough
like they had the
Rams
ball the
defense.
whole game because of all the freaking trick plays. You kept going unbelievable.
Had the ball a lot, but eventually it was Cooper Kupp once again on 10 catches, 156 yards, a couple touchdowns. Rams, the Lions could not get him off the field on third downs. That's why
Yeah.
they never wanted to give him the ball.
Right.
9 of 13 on third downs. And it seems like one of those games where we've been saying it all year about the Lions. Give them credit. They were in games, and they were. They fought, and they were in this thing. But it was like
They're just not as talented.
No one thought at any point when the final whistle happened that the Rams weren't going to figure out a way to pull it out.
No doubt about it. No doubt. I mean, really, again,
what's the headline? You didn't get the headline.
I think it's Trading Places.
There we go.
Trading Places, one of my favorite movies ever, okay? Trading Places. Oh, look what it's done. The Rams with Matthew Stafford are a Super Bowl contender. I mean, hey, of course. It's been an amazing move for Matthew Stafford. And, of course, it just makes you so aware of how differently he's viewed now. And I think, and at least in my opinion, and I think in football world this goes with it too, where teams view the Rams in the coaching world and the front office world as a whole different animal now with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. You know, before it was, hey, yeah, they're going to manage the game, and McVay's good, and they're going to run the ball, and their defense, and they're going to play tough. Great, yeah, great. Now it's like we saw yesterday. Oh, we're kind of losing in a few phases of the football game. It doesn't matter. You know, we've talked about this before. The run game's good today, but we're not just killing them. Okay, well, doesn't matter. Matthew Stafford's here, and we got Cooper Kupp and all these other good receivers to go along with it, and that's where the Rams are special. Dan Campbell coached that game to perfection. Perfection. There's just only so much you can do when the talent level on the other sideline is far greater than the one on your side.
I'm choking on my energy drink over here.
Good. That's what she deserves. It's called
I
karma.
don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You're right. And here's what's funny to me. I mean, the key play in the game
Yeah.
was at the end of the game. Jared Goff with the pick in the end zone, got pressure up the middle from Aaron Donald, their stud.
Right.
Threw it into the arms of Jalen Ramsey, their other stud.
Right.
I don't think that pass ever had a chance to be completed. It seemed like a super tight window with dudes all over it. But that's what the game came down to a play in the fourth quarter, and for the Lions, that's all you can ask for. This was interesting. I saw for Goff, he had 4.3 air yards per pass. That was the lowest this week in the NFL. So it turns out it was Jared Goff. It wasn't that Sean McVay, this is how he coaches. It wasn't that, it's like no matter what team he was on in this game, he was going to have the lowest air yards in the NFL.
Yeah, this is what he is again, and this is why everyone needs to back off when you think like just because the team's good, the quarterback's good. Like, I used to have I've had coaches, prominence, have made comments, and this is going to sound like piling on, but I'm going to just add to the point of what you're making here, of oh, they don't pay Sean McVay enough. They don't pay, really good coaches who are going their quarterback sucks. I'm sorry to say that. I don't mean to be like that guy, but their quarterback sucks. The fact that they go to the playoffs and do that every year is unbelievable. I mean, it is. I know he was viewed by, some coaches around football that were in amazement that he can make it work all the time that way. And now you're seeing he doesn't have to manage the game. They're just a different team. They're pressure on you at all times. As we've talked about and as I've talked about before, and you know this and you watch football enough to know this too, he's just not capable of making any special plays to help your team win. And when you're making $34 million a year, you're going to get extra criticism because of that. So, it was a bad interception. At that point of the game, which was 25-19 Rams at that point. And then, even the interception at the end of the game, I saw Dan Campbell talking to him he was to me on the sidelines after the interception happened. I think he was going hey, dude, the check down to the running back there. We need to go win the game. A 4-yard completion to DeAndre Swift is doing nothing for us right there. Let's push the ball down the field. And that was an errant throw too. But, man, it came back to Campbell gave the offense some opportunities with some of the onside kicks, 2 fake punts. They didn't quite capitalize on those. I think 10-0 early on, just not enough of a lead to say, oh, the Rams are scared, and you got them boxed in a corner.
And this is a theme for the Lions, not to make this all about Detroit, but they've been able to drive the ball. They've been close. They've gone for some fourth downs against some teams, and they've gotten yards. They've not gotten points.
Right.
And
that's the problem.
They've been in some of these games.
And that's where good quarterbacks, they get points. Good quarterbacks get on the 9-yard line and throw a laser. And or buy a little time in the pocket and then throw a laser.
Yep.
That's the difference between the great top 8, top 10 quarterbacks in football and the rest is third downs. They can make magic, and then coach can't always dial up the right play on the 10-yard line going in when they're rushing 4 and there's 7 guys in coverage and we only have 20 yards of field to work with. Man, those windows are tight. And that's where guys that can throw freaking laser beams really come in handy. You okay over there? You going to make it?
2 more things. I'm barely going to make it to the end of this. Cooper Kupp, we mentioned his game. First player in the Super Bowl era with 800-plus receiving yards, 9+ receiving touchdowns in the team's first 7 games of the season.
Unreal.
He's obviously playing over his skis a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I mean, have we maybe underestimated him in years past?
Well, why? Let's put it together.
Quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't show his skill set. I mean, they didn't want to run him down the field on 30-yard corner routes because they were like, shit, we'll only hit 4 out of 10. So that play. Let's scrap that. Let's find another way to go get him in the flat to throw him the ball 3 yards down the field. You know what I mean? So it plays hand to hand. That's what sucks about football. You could be awesome at your position, but if you don't have the right support around you, nobody will ever know. He's awesome. And, now between all the Wes Welker, Edelman stuff he does for them, they got a lot more plays that stretch the field as well. He's really good. What I love about the Rams is like what we just talked about with the Bengals, and we've hit on it with Devontae Adams and the Packers a little bit. And I know we'll get there in a few minutes. It's just that they go to the well and drink water until there's no more water in the well, and then they go, okay, shit, let's go somewhere else. But they don't go, oh, well, we called that play twice already, we can't do it again.
We'll keep doing it until you stop.
Exactly right, and I have great respect for that.
All right, so Matthew Stafford, last note here, joins the 300 touchdown club, 7th fastest in NFL history to get there.
I bet.
All 6 ahead of him here. I wonder if you can name them. 3 are Hall of Famers. 3 will be Hall of Famers.
Okay, all 6 that are a faster pace of him.
Faster to 300 touchdowns.
Well, Rodgers is the fastest of all time.
So he's in there, yeah.
Yeah, Rodgers, nobody was faster than Rodgers. I think he beat everybody by like 11, 12 games. So Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino. I'm going to say Brady. He is Brady. Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe a slower start to his career with numbers. That's 4 I got. Damn.
2 more. 1 recently retired.
Which is going to be like, I'm going to choke here because I'm like, who retired lately? And what's the other one? Old guy?
Older guy.
Elway.
Favre is the older guy.
fuck.
And the other guy, you hung around with him yesterday, Drew Brees.
Oh, duh.
But that's 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And 3 will be Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Stafford?
He's a Hall of Fame talent. Hopefully he gets to play on this team for a number of years to where everyone could go, everyone else can notice it. I feel like people in Detroit and only people who really follow quarterbacks really appreciate how good Matthew Stafford is or was. To me, that's it. Everybody else you got to fight the narrative with. I mean, including in the NFL, which now they're waking up to it too. But again, I think I told you back when he was traded, I can't tell you the number of coaches who, like, when he got traded, where it was either 1, is he that good to you? Is he really that good? Or it was 2, hey, I studied Jared Goff this year. We were, thinking about trading him and looking at him when we heard he was available. I just can't get over how great he is. Like, I think it's like one of those.
Stafford, you mean.
Stafford, sorry. I said Goff. Sorry.
Goff, yeah.
Exactly right. I mean, one of the greatest arms in the history of the sport. One of the greatest throwers in the history of the sport, no doubt about that.
And has a grasp of the. I mean, it seems like he just is so comfortable. It's like Joe Burrow. We were talking about him. Same thing with Matt Stafford. He's been doing it for longer.
No doubt.
Big win for the Rams, even though it was tougher than they probably anticipated.
Emotional
Nothing tough about what happened with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Chicago
According
Bears.
to who you talk to.
That was everything was difficult for the Chicago team. 38-3, the final score. The headline of that game:
Field of Screams. Oh, my gosh, the Buccaneers front's coming after me. I mean, poor Justin Fields. He had no chance yesterday. Absolutely no chance. I mean, at any point in the football game.
5 turnovers, lost 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, they were overwhelmed, period.
And then did the press conference in his shoulder pads.
Well,
I mean, like that. He just went right there.
Well,
like
that's when you just know. He's
right
just
away.
like, let me get it over with so I can go shower and be
why
done
does
with
someone
it.
do that?
Because it's like there might have been a dead time. He's probably the rookie. The rookie sometimes has to be the guy that's kind of at the front of the line.
Yeah.
And they were probably like, he could have been walking off the field and they'd be like, hey, I mean, you can get up there right now before coach and go right now. Like coach is back in the locker room kind of, and he probably was just like, yeah, I'll go in right now. So then you're done.
Yeah.
You've answered your questions. Now you can get dressed, go see your family after the shower, whatever, friends you got there waiting for you, anything like that. But yeah, it was an assault on that Bears offense.
I mean, this is a situation where, and well chronicled, you know, your evaluation of Justin Fields in the draft process, right? You've seen him play since then. You've been impressed with a lot of the things you've seen on the field with him.
100%.
This is a chance where you could take a victory lap against Justin
No,
Fields.
we're not
and say,
doing that.
Putting this
That's
on
not
Justin
fair.
Fields.
That's not fair, and we better not hear the hate from Justin Fields. I've been impressed with everything about him. Do I still want to see, better play yesterday and to wait, it's become a passing game and let me see you throw the ball into some more tight windows? Yeah, certainly. I still have those questions. But, he's done a really good job. He should be proud of what he's done out there. They were overwhelmed up front. They got the run game going a little early. And that's where I need to, again, I'm watching a lot of games. I just need to go back and see what they did. I just came away thinking it looked like they were in the shotgun way too much. That would be the biggest thing I think jumped out to me. But all in all,
keep this in mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
On that same note, because Andy Foster tweeted in, he goes, I felt for Justin Fields, same thing you said.
Right.
Does it seem like Nagy is designing plays completely opposed to Fields' strength?
Well,
no bootleg, no designed quarterback
That's
runs.
what it seemed like to me
getting
yesterday.
crushed by the Tampa D.
I'm glad to hear him say that. Again, hey, on Monday, I can't tell you everything that happened in every game. I got notes here. I've written down the themes of the games and the things that jumped out to me. But to me, to get into specific about, what they were doing schematically offensively, I don't know. My feel was that, as I just said, and thank you for that question, was that I kept looking over there going, why is he in the shotgun again? Why is he in the shotgun again? What? Why are they playing this style of football? And that it didn't seem to play into their hand at all at any point. And, of course, Tampa's offense is borderline unstoppable, to add to that. I mean, again.
Even without Antonio Brown.
It doesn't really matter.
Their most unstoppable receiver.
Yeah, no Gronk either.
No Gronk, yeah.
It just doesn't matter. They have a great creative scheme, and then they can overpower people. So far, we've seen the only defensive lines that give Tampa issues are quick defensive lines, and that was the Rams. Other than that, if you're big, they're bigger, and they say, F you, we don't care. And that's where I'm just amazed by them. But, yeah, it seemed like we went back to the old, we're going to throw it on Tampa Bay with that pass rush and your offensive line. I know Tampa's banged up in the secondary and you think you might, but that's not your team. You're not that. That's not playing to your bread and butter. That's going outside the box of what your team is and then just hoping we can take advantage of a team in an area they're weak at, but we're also really weak at. Well, they're the Super Bowl champs, and they're not that weak at that. And when they pin you into that, one corner of, you're going to get in the shotgun and throw all day, you have no chance because your team's not that great at pass protecting that way. They're a good run blocking team. And we haven't seen anybody run the ball in Tampa, and that's why I'm thankful for that question to where I just was confused why I kept seeing Justin Fields in the shotgun all game long.
Yeah. All right, so Tom Brady, 4 touchdowns, all in the first half. I didn't think he'd play in the second half. He played actually quite a bit in the second half.
Yeah,
this game
they did.
Over.
Yeah.
Basically at halftime. Got a 600th touchdown. They gave that ball away. You saw that. Mike
That was
Evans
amazing.
gave that ball away.
Amazing.
And the fan graciously gave it back, which I am against.
You're against that?
Yes.
Why?
Get your fair value for it, right?
Well,
we're talking about
I would think
multi-million-dollar athletes and franchises worth $1 billion.
Who's to say they didn't do that? You don't know that. I would bet you.
Tough to say.
Listen, I know those ball boys and everybody in Tampa. They are good people, and Brady's a good person too. He's made one mistake in his life.
How much would that get on the like an auction? Sotheby's auction at 600 touchdowns, never been done before. Tom Brady.
Yeah, probably $100,000 or more.
Maybe more.
I mean, you're right. I mean, definitely.
Are they going to pay him that much money?
I don't know. You're right.
Probably not.
Probably not. But the guy, Tampa.
Pete's saying he got $1,000 gift card. Is that true to the team store?
All right. Well, listen.
That ball would have gotten more than $1,000.
Let's keep track of this story then, because he needs to get more than that. He needs to get a Tom Brady autographed jersey and helmet.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. He got
What did he
Pete's
get?
saying he got an autographed signed helmet.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
We're getting there.
And another game ball.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably going to get tickets, maybe.
They probably need to, yeah.
But will it? Yeah, exactly. Pete says get another 100,000. Like, I think you go to Sotheby's and you go, hey, what would this have gotten if you were to auction this
I know.
off? And if they go, this could have gotten $500,000, that fan should get $500,000. That's what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. That's not going to happen. Nor if you were that guy in the stands, I know Amon Freed, you would have gave that ball back.
You know why?
Tell Mr. Brady I said he's welcome.
Because it's a crappy feeling. Like that puts the fan in a really crappy position, right? Because
it does.
You're obviously a fan of the team. You love the guy.
Right.
Like you don't want to be like seen as like an adversary to the
Right.
team. So it puts the fan in a really uncomfortable position, which I feel like that's why the team should step up and not do that. Go like, give us the ball. We'll go to Sotheby's. We'll get whatever the fair market value of that ball was. We'll pay it to you.
Yeah.
I hope they do that. I hope teams are listening and do that in the future because I think that's only fair. But that's my rant. Ran over. Another touchdown for Tom Brady, who continues to defy all other things. Another note on the defensive
Game
side.
was easy for them.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Jason Pierre-Paul, 2 sacks, forced a fumble despite saying post-game that he was playing with a fractured finger
Freak
and
show.
a torn rotator cuff.
Yeah.
They just got dudes all over the field doing crazy things.
They got a bunch of renegades and freak shows who love football and don't care. You know, oh, what, my fingers are blown off from fireworks. Who gives a shit? I'm going to keep playing. Like, he just doesn't care. He's a baller. He is. I mean, him and Shaq Barrett seemed like they were all over Justin Fields. I don't know. Every time I looked up or somebody on the edge, Justin Fields was running for his life. But you know, hey, Tampa, obviously, you know, one of the best teams in football, if not the best, and.
Yeah.
When they have the short field off of some turnovers and it's unstoppable. I mean, their first 3 drives, it's in 32-yard drive, a 40-yard drive, and a 35-yard drive.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not going to win you games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Give them short fields. They score their first 3 possessions.
It's amazing.
Last thing, Matt Nagy, does he make it through the year?
He'll make it through the year. I do think that. Because they're going to hang around. They got enough talent to hang around.
You think?
To hang around, yes.
What if it just falls off a cliff?
I don't know. I have a hard time thinking it will, just because I think their defense will hang in there.
Yeah.
And like to what we saw yesterday, they can run the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where I want to go back for what the happened Wednesday podcast, because that's one of the things I really would like to know is, like, what was Chicago doing on that side of the ball? And but Matt Nagy, to me, listen again here, last thing on this.
Yes.
This is where I thought the I don't want to play Justin Fields thing was a political play from the get-go, because he didn't want this to happen. Wait, he looks kind of good. We're still not winning games, and I can't find ways to really use him the right way, and now the spotlight goes on me. He wanted to buy another year of that, and now it's here, and now the chatter like you're talking about, it's going to start. I say he makes it through the year, but if it like continues on this route, it's going to be dicey whether he's back.
Dicey times in Chicago right now. That was Give Me the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. We think Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.